you encourage family caregivers to embrace an emergency mindset and prepare at home?
So what I'm going to suggest is to make your caregivers and help people deal with this is a little bit of training in pre-planning and thinking about emergencies and what you would do if someone has an emergency, or you come upon one of your clients, I guess you call them, or your family member unconscious. Uh, that's not a normal situation for sure, and they are in distress. Something is wrong. So any help that you can give is going to be positive help. The first thing, of course, is to make sure that you're not sure what happened to them. If there was an electrical shock or something, is to survey the area and just make sure you're not walking into a dangerous area. First responders, we think of them traditionally as police, fire, paramedics, but first responders actually are the caregivers and the people that are out in the public and that come across somebody having a situation. And so they can only serve to make it better.
A lot of people freeze in an emergency situation. Can anybody learn how to respond when the unthinkable happens?
Yes, and going back to what I said previously, if we think about some scenarios, like you come upon somebody who is just lying on the floor in the middle of the floor, clearly not a normal situation, and clearly they're not taking their nap. Perhaps there's a spilled glass or a tray, or a chair's turned over, or a table's turned over. So with those kind of scenarios, which are very real scenarios, caregivers should imagine themselves what they would do and assess their abilities. But usually when the traditional first responders get there, it's been 5 or maybe more minutes. If you're living out in a rural area, it might be 10 or 15 minutes. So by doing these mind exercises and imagining scenarios, say, you could imagine someone burning themselves. It happens in the cooking accidents all the time. Ask yourself, what would you do? And imagine yourself role play. Um, get them away. You might put something on them or cool water. These things most people already know. And so it's a good time to practice that muscle memory, and that'll help you be calm in a real emergency. It's also a great time to assess, well, I don't know that. So if in one of your scenarios it was CPR or mouth to mouth, you know what? If that's something you're not comfortable with, then go out and take a course. By that action alone, you're self-determining, and that's giving you the confidence to know what you can do and what you might not be able to do. So it really sounds simple, and it is simple, but it's hard, and that it takes a little bit of preparation. Role playing, funny as it sounds, but even as firefighters, you practice role playing. A lot of times you're given a scenario, house fire, 2-story house fire, blah, blah, blah. And you're on a training ground and you have to pretend this building is on fire. And what would you do? So that's what professionals do. It certainly will work for those that are caregivers, maybe not doing this as a full-time or a career, but are, and I will state this again, are essentially and factually the first responders in our society. So kudos to the caregivers that are educating and training themselves.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to take our quick survey to give us your feedback. Find the link in the video description below.